Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So yes, I know it is only early October, but I will be releasing this video a little bit later. So it is... Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today it is the 10th of October and I'm going to start my Christmas cake mixes. So I'm going to start off the process with some mixed fruit, and I've got 20 ounces of mixed fruit. This is going to make a 8-inch cake or some small cakes that I'm giving out as gifts, and these are the tins there that I've bought for them. But anyway, we want 20 ounces of mixed fruit, and we want a tub, which is, I think it's 200 grams, yeah, 200 gram tub of glacé cherries. Now the mixed fruit, I'm just using just a standard one from the Aldi. It's got raisins, sultanas, a little bit of mixed peel in there, and again I'm going to add the cherries in there. Here's the one I made earlier. I have just cut the glacé cherries in half and I've just popped them into the bowl. So I'm going to do that with this one, and then I'm going to add some alcohol to soak. The fruit will soak all the alcohol up, and we'll leave that for maybe a week, and then we'll bake our cakes. So there's our glacé cherries in. So I'm just going to give them a mix around as best you can. Doesn't really matter because you're going to stir them every other day anyway for the first week. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some alcohol. Now in relation to the alcohol, you can actually use any that you like. Traditionally I used to use brandy, but I've changed that now to Amaretto for the almondy taste, and honestly it's phenomenal. It really is a game changer. I used to use rum as well, but again, Amaretto just is on another level for me. So let's get the Amaretto in. So guys, this is the Amaretto. I just got it out of Aldi, nothing special. You can use Di Serrano if you want to, but at the end of the day, we're making a cake, so it's expensive enough as it is. So I'm just going to pour a little bit. Like I say, this step isn't even sort of necessary really. So I'm just going to pour that in, and I'm just going to give my bowl a stir around. So just make sure that you've got enough in, and you can see there that there is enough there at the side. That will all dry up because the fruit here will soak all of the alcohol up. So that is Christmas cake stage 1 done. So we'll come back after put a layer of cling film over the top of this just to keep the fruit sort of covered, if you like, and after 7 days we'll come back, see how the fruit's doing, make sure that everything's soaked up, and then what we'll do is we'll get on making our cake mix. Hi everyone, so it's been 7 days and our fruit has been soaking in the Amaretto, so now we're going to make a start on the actual cake mix and getting the cakes baked. So in our mixing bowl, I'm going to use my standing mixer today. So in the mixing bowl I've got 8 ounces of butter, margarine, so that's going in. Next in goes 8 ounces of sugar, and this is just normal granulated sugar, and we're going to put them on the mixer, and we're going to cream the butter and sugar together. So I'm just going to pop that on. Would help if it was plugged in, wouldn't it? It's plugged in now. So I'm just going to leave that mixing like that while I get the other ingredients weighed out. So that there's mixing lovely. So you want it to go a light and fluffy, a sort of paler colour than it was when it went in. So it's quite yellowy, wasn't it, the margarine? So as it mixes together, it'll go quite like a lighter, paler colour. So the next ingredients I've got in here, I've got 4 ounces of ground almonds, I've got a teaspoon of mixed spice, and I've got 12 ounces of self-raising flour. So what I'm going to do, my butter and sugar is nicely combined and they're creamed. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add me dry mix of the flour, the almond and the mixed spice into here. So I'll get that done now. And in my jug, I've got 4 eggs, and then I've got 4 tablespoons of milk, and I've got 4 tablespoons of whatever alcohol you're using. So if it's brandy, rum, whatever. So I've got 4 tablespoons of Amaretto in this egg mixture here. Now, all of these sort of recipes for Christmas cakes and stuff, they will vary because everybody has a different one. Some people use brown sugar, some people use white. There's loads of different recipes out there. So this is just one that my family do. So yeah, and it works. So let's get cracking. So I'm gonna turn on my flour mixture in there, which will be going all over. And then I'm just gonna slowly pour my egg mixture in, and then it'll make a cake mix. So you can see it there coming together just as I'm slowly adding that in, and I might need to turn the speed up a little bit as it starts to thicken, because the mixer might struggle. I have got a posh Kenwood mixer, but it's packed away. This one's like a cheapy one that I got from Aldi, but it does the job. So I'll finish this off and let it all mix up nice. So you can see there that mix there is all combined, and you don't want to overwork it. So that's our cake mix there, all done. Now in here, I wish you could smell this because it smells absolutely gorgeous. I could sit and eat this mixed fruit with a spoon. So that there has soaked up all of the amaretto, and I did add a little bit more in just a couple of days ago, but it has literally soaked up, all the fruit has soaked the amaretto up, so it'll be absolutely gorgeous. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of my fruit into here and get the mixer on. So that's all of our mix, and I'm just going to turn the mixer on. And it's a massive, massive cake mix, this, like a batch. So we'll just let that combine just for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds or so. And I think that will be enough. It's hard doing things with one hand. And I know what everyone's going to say, where's your tripod? So that's our cake mix done in there. So the next thing to do is sort our tins out. So that mixture that I'm doing there actually does an 8-inch cake tin, but I'm not doing just one 8-inch cake tin. So I bought these off Amazon. I don't actually know how many of these cakes I'm going to get out of the mix because it's the first time I'm doing it. But they are just little 4-inch cake pans, and I'm going to give it a go because I'm doing these as gifts, and I'm even going to make my own toppers. I'm going to make some reindeer toppers to go on the top of the cake, which I'll show you. I'll bring you along and I'll show you. But for now, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just line these with a bit of greaseproof paper. They are non-stick, so I would imagine, you know, but I always tend to line my stuff anyway with a greaseproof paper. So I'm going to get on and I'm going to line these. I don't know how many of them I need. We're just going to have to, I might get all of the, I think there's 8. I might even get 8 out of it. So if I do, fantastic. So we'll crack on. So this is how I do it. Everybody will have a different way of how they line the tin. I put my cake on, tin on, I draw around it, and then I cut another strip down to go around the side. As simple as that. So I'm just going to cut 8 circles out, and then I'm going to cut 8 sort of strips so that it can line the inside of the tin. So you can see there that I've drawn around the bottom of the pan. I've got my long strips, and I'm just going to measure how long I need these. So I'll cut that about there, and then it'll go nicely in the inside. So what I do, I just give it a little bit of a spray, a couple of things, brush it all around in the pan. I'll do it better than that, it's just because I'm doing it one-handed. And then on this strip here, you'll see I've just cut a little slit in like that, and I'll show you why in a second. So you can see there why that I cut the bottom of them is so that when you push it in, and you can push it down like that, and then you can put your little round one on top of them, and then we can put our cake mix in these cake tins. So I'm going to repeat the steps, and I'm going to do the other 8. So I'm going to cut the bottoms out, cut the strips, I'm going to fan the strips like this, grease the tin, put my greaseproof paper in with the fanned bits at the bottom so it sits nicely, and then I'm going to put the disc in, and then our cake mix, and we're going to bake. So I'll crack on prepping my tins. So there's me cake mix in the tin. So there's about 3 to 4 tablespoons it takes to fill these. So if I was selling them, I would weigh them and make sure that everybody's getting the same, but these are just gifts for people that I'm doing. So yeah, so I'm going to carry on, pop these in. My oven is on gas mark 1, and I'm letting it preheat. And that usually this mix here, as I said earlier, would do an 8-inch cake, but I'm splitting it down into smaller ones. So it will go in the oven, at an 8-inch cake tin would go in the oven for 4 to 5 hours on gas mark, between gas mark 1 and 2. These are a lot smaller cakes, so I don't think they're going to take that long. I think about an hour and a half. What I will do is after an hour and a half, I will open the oven and I'll pop the skewer in just to see whether they're cooked, and we'll go from there. So I've managed to get all of me 8 little cakes, and then there's a tiny little bit left in the bottom of the mixing bowl there. So these are now going in the oven, I reckon, for an hour and a half, gas mark 1, 1.5. So the cakes have been in from 1:15 and it's now 3 o'clock. So I have done the skewer test, and you can see there I've popped a few little holes in. So while the cakes are still warm and still hot, because like I say, they've just come out the oven, I'm just going to put a little bit of amaretto on the top of them and then leave them. Now what I will do is, once they're fully cooled, I'll wrap them in cling film, and I will feed the cakes once a week just by putting a little bit of amaretto on, right up until December. So for the next sort of 6 weeks, I'm going to sort of feed them once a week, once a fortnight, depending on how moist the cakes actually are, and we'll go from there. But I'm over the moon. So I got 8 of these little cakes, and they're going to do perfectly for gifts.